Hi y'all! I'm Tamara.
And I'm Gabby.
And this is I'd Rather Be Stitching. And we are having trouble today because we got a case of the giggles. So anyway, this is our FlossTube number 5. And we want to say welcome if you're new to our channel. And if y'all have been here before,
welcome back.
And thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't yet, then please do, because
it'd be cool.
That's just what you do on YouTube. So, first of all, we have, hold up, I rearranged my cards. They're all messed up. We have whips.
Whips. You.
Hold on. So sorry. This is, I don't know why there's a little dangly string, but this is my, this is,
the family crest.
The family crest. What? Look.
This.
We don't need that then?
We don't need this.
Okay.
This is a family crest.
It's soiled. Don't look at this soiled bit. I'm going to have to clean it again. Anyway, this is a family crest, and I made cards. So here's all the information. I'm not sure where he's going to put it, but there's going to be cards with information.
Wait, I didn't need to put my information on the notes for the episode?
We're struggling.
I think we might need to try again.
No, we're good. We're good. We're not starting over.
Okay.
So this is the family crest. I've worked on this a little bit. But this was called for Whip Go for January as my oldest whip. And it was also called for March as, okay, hold on. Let me say that all over again. This was called for January as Finish a Page. And this was called twice in March as my oldest whip. So needless to say, in the upcoming month, this one is going to get a whole lot more done on it. But I did do some up in here. I've been working on filling this in right here because that is the part that's the page I'm trying to finish. So that's that. Next one is, we probably didn't get enough sleep last night, so we're not coordinated or anything. And this is pointed the right way.
This is Wind Moon Fairy.
Yes, Wind Moon Fairy. And I only worked on it twice, I think, so I just got a little bit more of this. I think it's ribbons. I think it's the bouquet ribbons. So that's all I've done on that one because, excuse me, February was not a month to actually work on things we already had. It was a month to start all the new things. And I've done that very well.
But we're not showing those yet.
Not yet. This is the Peaceful Shores. I have worked diligently on this one again because I would like to finish it. And I filled in a lot of the sky over here. And I think I filled in all these clouds and stuff over here. And I'm just on the last page now, other than backstitching, which there's a very lot of to do. So, I'm going to continue just plowing my way through this one until it's done. Nothing more to say about that. This one is my Weirdos, and I actually got...
Is that the right way?
This is the right way. You can tell now because there's a heart. This is my Weirdos, and before it was just this little bit and you couldn't even tell which way was up, but now I've been filling in the heart that's behind them. So I made good progress on this. I'm pretty pleased with it. I think I worked on it like 5 days, maybe 6, but yeah, it feels really weird not having to say all this stuff for these anymore because it's all on these cards that I made. And it's also weird talking about cards as if they're floating above my head already, which they're not, but timey-wimey,
the most
wibbly wobbly,
savvy.
Yeah.
All the time.
This one is my peacock, and I actually did quite a bit of this one last night. I got all these extra squares done and started filling in all this green, and I decided I really like this Lugana.
Nice texture.
It is a nice texture, and I think I'm going to stitch on Lugana more because, as you will see shortly, I have also tried linen now, and I don't really care for linen.
More on that later.
But I do like this Lugana, and I think it's easy to stitch on once you get used to counting over 2 squares instead of 1.
The temperature dragon.
Temperature dragon.
Some of us fell behind.
No, we are both way behind on it.
I said some of us.
There's only 2 of us, and we're both behind.
Yes, I am about a month behind.
Me too. No, what do we say, like 2 weeks?
I think I'm like exactly a month behind. She's
3 weeks.
2.5 weeks behind.
Yeah. But this one is Gabby's.
Yeah, this one's mine. This is January. That day there that I skipped, that's because it's the same purple. Very light purple.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as I said before, this, the chart for the colors for this thing is designed for the highs of the day, not the lows of the day. And since I'm doing the lows, it's kind of skewed.
Yeah.
Towards all the purples. So, that's whatever. That's neither here nor there.
But it's our first year doing temperature charts, so we may make our own temperature range for future charts.
But that's January, and I finally started on February. I'm trying to get caught up, but ooh.
And we only have 1 board, so we have to take turns. This one is mine. It has a lot of the same light blue in it. So I've skipped a lot of days and rearranged them to suit my own desires. But the lady who charted it did say that, you know, this is the month of January. She said you can put your days anywhere in there that you want just to keep them in January. So I did. So there's my beginning of February. But like I said, I'm 2.5 to 3 weeks behind on it. And I did change the range. Because these yellows and this light green, this is when it started getting up into the 70s in February. And I realized that she had it charted all like in shades of brown, which I don't care for unless it's in nature. So I changed it to a range of yellows and oranges and reds. So as it gets hotter here, it will be
and of course
not brown.
She had me help pick those.
Yes, because that's what she does.
The color master, apparently.
Yes. So, that is our temperature dragons. The next one I have, excuse me, is called Wild Skull.
Wild Skull.
Wild.
We've been watching
Wild. Red Dead.
Cowboy game.
Yeah, so
our Southern is coming out more.
Yeah, so forgive us. We will try to speak more Northern.
Nothing.
I don't know how Northern people. That might have been British. I don't know. Anyway, this is a wild
skull.
Wild skull. This is one that this is right. This was one that I had already started. It was a whip from last year or something. I never showed it because it's supposed to be a gift. Excuse me, but I'm pretty sure that this person does not watch. So, I was working on it. I was doing well until I realized all of this tan right here, excuse me, is supposed to be like a greenish brown. So, I have to take all those stitches out, and that means automatically it's relegated to stitchy jail. Come down like a gel, slamming shut. Stitchy jail. Moving on. So, I worked one day on this because it was cold for a while. Now we don't know if it's cold or warm from day to day because the weather can't make up its mind. But look, I finished the D and I started the E. And I'm hoping to have this done by the fall.
I haven't even started mine.
Yes.
Still.
Yes. Bless her heart.
That's neither here nor there.
Bless her heart. So, do you have any whips other than the dragon?
No.
Okay.
All I have this episode is crochet.
Woo,
You'll see that at the end.
That's a crochet parade. Okay. So, new starts, of which I have several. Nope, it's upside down. This one is Sherlock Holmes.
I think that's upside down.
No, it's not. Those are the steps.
I thought that was the roof.
No, it's steps. Don't listen to her. I'm stitching it. This is the right way. This is Sherlock Holmes because we started watching the Sherlock Holmes...
Sherlock.
BBC's
Sherlock.
With...
Benedict Cumberbatch. Don't even try to say his name.
I can't say his name because I make up names for him. So, this is a free pattern by Stitch People. This is linen. My first time stitching on linen. I am doing it 2/2, and I like having the experience of stitching on other stuff, but I don't like how wackadoodle linen is. I don't like the wide threads and the skinny threads. It makes the stitches look wonky to me. So,
and it feels weird.
It feels like stinking medical gauze or something. I don't know. It might just be this one. But my friend gave me a piece of scrap linen, so I didn't waste... Mystery linen. Yes, I have no idea what size it is. But I didn't have to spend any money finding out that I don't like it. So that is a bonus. But this pattern is actually a combination of embroidery and cross stitch. You can't see the embroidery part yet because I'm not doing it yet. There it is. So that is Sherlock Holmes. It's quite fun. This one is board. Yeah. This one was a new start and a finish. My only finish for February, but also my first finish for 2024. So yay! Woo! Ding ding ding. But this one was for... I probably should have made better notes. I was like, no, I'm going to be spontaneous. I can just remember this stuff. There we go. Winter Cross Stitch Camp 2024 by the Colorado Cross Stitcher. And this one was from the same set of birds that I've shown y'all previously. The State Birds Leisure Arts. But don't worry, because it's on the screen somewhere.
Stop pointing.
Anyway, that's that one. The next new start was my Leap Day start.
I think that's...
This is right.
Yep.
This is right. This one is Mount Vernon.
Can't you tell?
These are windows, and that's a tree. But this was a kit that my grandma gave me years ago before she died. She bought it from the gift store at Mount Vernon Plantation, which we lived near for a long time. And she apparently didn't know how to cross stitch because in the kit were printed out pages for how to cross stitch for beginners. I didn't know she didn't know how to cross stitch because she was always very crafty and she sewed a lot and she did things. So, but apparently she didn't cross stitch, so she said, I don't know why I bought this, I'm never going to do it, do you want it? And I was like, why, sure. So I started it for Leap Day, and actually after some of the more complex, to me, patterns I've done, these little just one color blocks stitched very quickly, and some of these others aren't, the patterns aren't complicated, but they're just full of confetti, which, as y'all know, slows everything down. And my last new start,
which I thought we showed before.
We showed the fabric. I don't know if we had started stitching it yet. But
if we had started. This is supposed to be a we thing. I've been busy.
Well, also, she picked the owl. This is 100 Owls by Owl Forest Embroidery. We started it for Superb Owl Sal. Yeah, for the Super Bowl. And we showed the fabric because we had already hand dyed it. And because it's 100 different owls, Gabby told me the owls she really wanted to stitch, and I'm stitching everything else. So that's why she has not done any work on this yet. But this is my small start. I think I haven't worked on it since the Super Bowl. And that was a really good game. So I wasn't
watched
stitching
it
a lot.
which is crazy for me.
Yeah, we don't normally watch
We're
a lot
not
of football.
sports people.
But the Super Bowl is different. I feel like it just needs to be watched, even though they weren't our teams. But because I have family in Kansas, that's who we rooted for. Gabby wanted to be ornery.
Somebody had to root for the other team.
Somebody didn't have to. There were people out there rooting for them already.
Yeah,
But she just wanted to be ornery. So
I wanted to. Never mind.
she wanted to be ornery.
All
It's
the
okay.
Taylor Swift fans were rooting for Kansas City, so someone had to take the other side. Okay.
That's fair.
You know, no hate to Taylor Swift. Just there's got to be a naysayer.
All
If
right.
necessary, it'll be me.
So what are we on to? Haul?
Haul, yes.
Haul.
Retroactive, whatever. Insert a proper word here. Last episode was telling you about our
Craftica. Honeycraftica.
Not that. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but it's not that. And I told you about a little cross stitch kit she gave me.
That we lost.
That we lost. We found it today, right before filming. Here it is. And I did mention it, I think I mentioned it in last video, that I was going to change the red dots in the background to blue, just because I think it'll look better.
It will.
But yeah, that's all the haul I have.
My haul is the ring light shining at us because my sister-in-law and I talked recently. We were getting caught up. We hadn't spoken for a while. And I mentioned that I had the light that goes around your neck and it shines on your stuff, but it puts headlights on the TV from my husband's angle. So sorry. So he doesn't like that. And then I got a little one. I think it's supposed to be a book light and you clip it to your work. Yep. But it slips. It like falls over as I'm stitching. So that's not really working. And I said that I didn't really want to worry about another light right now because I'd already wasted money on two that didn't work for me. Next thing I know, this light shows up in the mail from her. It was very nice. It was a total surprise. I love it. It has a magnifier and the ring light. It works really well.
Bendy neck.
Yeah. Oh, and it's on a stand. It's one of the big ones. It's on a stand and you can
Real nice.
angle it wherever you want. It's hefty duty.
50 bajillion light settings.
Yes. I love it. I don't need the magnifier yet, but the light really helps when I'm stitching at night because we have 14 million lamps in this living room, but trying to get good lighting at night where I need it is not easy. So this is great for that. And then I bought a chair for stitching because we went to the
local antique and furniture and
it's an
everything
antique
emporium.
Yeah, it has like an antique part and then it has this indoor flea market, only it's not your it's not a low grade, low class flea market. They rent a booth. It's more like a consignment shop had a baby with a flea market because there's people who run the place and so the individual vendors aren't there, but they are all contained within their own little booths. I don't know how to explain it, whatever. It's the only time I've ever seen a place like this. It's really nice. And apparently on items that are higher priced than low, they will call the seller and see if they're willing to go down in price. So I saw this glorious chair and I sat in it
for like 20 minutes.
I did.
I just sat there. While we were supposed to be looking around, I was looking around And she just kept sitting in the chair.
I did. But she came over and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I feel like this would be the perfect chair to sit in when I'm stitching. And she sat in it. She's like, oh my gosh, it totally is.
It provides
support right in the
middle back.
Yeah, so you're not like troll over your stuff or like sitting on the couch. I'm like, it's not really conducive to stitching. But this chair is amazing. And we did get her to come down.
And it's nice. It's
30%.
Kind of stiff. It's kind of like a sturdy, like stiffer padding.
But the part you sit on is very like springy, so it's not like sitting on a 2x4 or whatever. It's comfortable, but supportive, and it is awesome. And it's a pretty color, so when we can put it somewhere to get a good picture, because I can't get very good pictures in this house. I have to take stuff outside to get really good light on it. So
again, lighting,
right? Word. So those are the only 2 hauls that I have.
Is it my turn?
Not yet. Almost. I want to update you on WhipGo. So of the 2 numbers that were called in January, one of mine was for working on all of my stitch-alongs for 5 days each, which I met that goal. And the other one was for finishing a page, which I already told you I have not quite finished on the Langford crest, but I'm working on it. February was working on all of the things that are supposed to be gifts for other people, working on those 5 days each. And then I had a My Choice square for 5 days each. I met the goal for My Choice, and I have one more day on the Peaceful Shores, and then that goal will be met. So I've almost managed to stay caught up on WhipGo, which is really cool because I wasn't sure how well I would stay caught up on that, because normally I don't do
scheduled
goals
stitching.
And plan. Yes, I don't do those things. But also I have started the Stitchy woohoo! It's like,
what are you talking about?
I'm trying to remember what they call it. It's like WhipGo, only I think it's called Stitch Go, and it's by Creatively Crafty, maybe. I got sneakied into this one. Excuse me. She put up a free pattern for these cute cupcakes on Facebook. I clicked it. I'm like, yes, I would love that cupcake pattern because it's really cute. And then she's like, oh, join her or whatever. And I'm like, sure, because I don't know what that is. I'll join it. Well, it turns out it's all of these different things. Like if you meet 5,000 stitches for the month, you get so many points. And if you, there's a, Stitch Go board, which is like WhipGo, only bigger. If you do different parts of that, you get different points. If you stab yourself with a needle and do some other things which are
accidentally.
Yeah, they're called oops. That's the oops board. Then you get points for this. But anyway, you rack up all these points during the month, and then she has a drawing for actual prizes. And I'm a sucker for anything with a prize at the end of it because I like stuff, and I don't buy a whole lot. You might think, oh, she starts stuff every day. She must buy. No.
We have inherited
tons of stuff.
Decades worth of stash of crafting stuff.
A lot of this stuff was not purchased, but whatever. Anyway,
is it my turn?
It's fun, but hold on. But because I don't have a tablet that counts my stitches for me, because I tried it on the phone, it's just too little and ridiculous. So I have to count stitches manually for the count your stitches part, and that to me is just very tedious. So I don't know how long I'm going to keep up with this, but I am trying it for now. And so far, I'm doing okay. Over to you, Gabby.
Yay!
Crochet segment.
The crochet segment. We've been talking about it. We've been foreshadowing. Here it is. This is my moment to shine because it's more my passion.
Yes.
I started crocheting first time years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My Nana taught me how to crochet. At the same time, Well, did you already know, or was it just my brother?
No, I didn't know.
Well,
she had tried to teach me before,
all
but...
basically learning how to crochet at once. Her, my brother, and I.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not really like it that much. It was cool, but not really my thing. Until 2 years ago, in July of 2022, we were cleaning out our spare room, and I saw a whole bunch of crochet patterns, and I'm like, gee, I want to do something in the round, because I never had, because I thought it was so scary.
It is so scary.
To stitch in the round.
It's impossible.
And because of this one. And I tried it. My very first ever project.
And she magicked it.
I found a pattern online for stars because I wanted to make something for 4th of July. And I made a blue one first, I think, but it's kind of irrelevant. I ended up making a little garland with this rustic twiney stuff.
But let the record show.
She did half the stars.
Did I do half? I thought I did one.
Did you do one?
I think I did one star. But it was in the round. And that's amazing. She did a star.
And that was very difficult to show her how to do because I am left-handed.
Right-handed.
And I can show myself how to do stuff from right-handed to left, but translating it back into right-handed crochet, it's a mystery to me.
I think this one right here is even mine because it looks different than all the rest.
Because I'm a little uptight when I crochet apparently, and she crochets a little looser.
I'm like laissez-faire. La-di-da. I was probably slouching on the couch.
But anyway, it's not the best. I think we're showing them the back.
Oh. Oops.
Anyway, we hung this over our kitchen doorway, and we meant to make another one.
For the other doorway, because the kitchen has two.
And we tabled it to the next 4th of July, and still didn't do it. So we tabled it to this upcoming 4th of July.
Which we might actually
And we'll see if we actually make another one. But I counted it under an FFO, because this one is done.
Correct. But now that we are
that is the first crochet thing I've ever finished.
We might be held more accountable with people. Like,
yeah.
Oh, girls, you're supposed to be working on 4th of July stuff.
So that was the first crochet thing I ever finished. Because there was a scarf I attempted. It was the very first thing I did. And I unraveled that a while ago because I didn't like it. And there's barely ever any time of year for us to wear scarves around here. It's just too hot.
We're more likely to wear a scarf in the summertime inside.
And the pattern was really basic and not very interesting, so I scrapped it. And the second thing I decided to do was this bumblebee. It's a little weird, and I managed to stitch the butt inside out. But it's my very first amigurumi, and I did it. And it works out perfectly because it's her mascot.
Yay!
So,
and it was also the focus point for the first 2 videos when I was alone and didn't know where to look. And I was like, and they put this on the camera and they're like, look at the bee.
Mm-hmm. Talk to the bee.
So that's what I did.
Yes, this was my very first amigurumi. I was very pleased with it, except for the inside out butt.
But I have a logo now. I have an honest and official logo, which I just haven't put into my YouTube profile or whatever yet. So pretty soon this guy's face is not going to be what you see when you come here. It's going to be my official logo. But he will happily be sitting on the shelf with the place of honor. It's actually not a shelf. It's a dresser. But it's an heirloom dresser that's been in our family for generations. And we love it. And we love the bee. So...
Am I supposed to be saying where I got these from? Or is that going to be...
I don't know. If you remember it.
Okay. So the stars were from... I spent like 3 hours this morning getting all this information together because I thought I was going to need it in the video. So I'm going to tell y'all. The stars were from the simple crochet star pattern from stitchingtogether.com, stitching-together.com. And the bumblebee was Crochet Bee by Crochet 365 Knit 2.
Knit 2.
Knit Too. I just found these online. They were all free patterns, except like one. But anyway, the next thing was a gift I made for my friend for her birthday last year. It was a mushroom bag.
Oh, so cute.
From, it was a YouTube video, how to crochet bag, mushroom bag. It was entirely in Chinese. But it was by Crochet Studio on YouTube. And I want to thank profusely YouTube user Maya Weston 5095 for writing out a pattern of what she saw the lady in the video doing. The entire pattern. Writing it out and putting it as a YouTube comment. Because I would not have been able to make this bag without that comment. So thank you very much.
It was an adorable bag, and everybody who saw it when she delivered it loved it. Everybody, like the librarian was like, "Oh, I want one," and I was like, "Oh, I want one."
It was difficult. It was the biggest thing I had made, and it was
complex.
I was driving myself crazy trying to get it done, and it was. I got it done like a couple weeks after her birthday, and then didn't see her for several weeks after that. And I'm just like,
after she had rushed through it, freaking out, like, "Oh my gosh!"
Stitching every free moment.
Yeah,
crocheting away. Yeah, and inside of it, I put a little mushroom guy, mushroom buddy amigurumi from Delenlea. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I found it on Pinterest. Like everything. I think it was from Delenlea.com. Delinlea. Whatever. Don't laugh at me. So that I put that inside the bag when I gave it to her. And then, a few months later, I made the same friend a graduation gift. It was a lot of patterns. There were a lot of patterns. I made her an amigurumi polar bear. The pattern was Bruno the polar bear, from octopuscrochet.com. And that came with a hat. The pattern came with a pattern for a hat and a scarf and a bag. And I made all of those. And the bear. And then from another pattern, Briggs the Bear by yarnsociety.com. All I made from that pattern was the bandana that was part of the pattern. And then I made a vest loosely based on a tutorial, Clothes for Critters by Tammy Jones from interweave.com. And on the back of the vest, I put a little applique heart on like a pin.
Like a safety pin.
Like a safety pin. We had this thing of them that I just sewed it to. And that was Small Heart Applique by I'm not going to try to pronounce this. We'll put it on screen.
Yep. Rafa Musa.
Okay, she'll try to pronounce it.
Rafa Musa Designs.
Yep.
Maybe Musa. If we said it wrong, I apologize.
And I made a little graduation cap for him from zenknit.ru. And so that she could... I meant to make more accessories for it, but I ran out of time.
Like little coveralls and so many cute bear clothes.
But, you know, it had a hat, a scarf, a bandana, a vest, and a graduation cap, and a bag. So she could, dress it how she wanted.
And she loved it.
She did, yes. And then I made, a few months after that, I made a stuffed amigurumi panda for my sister for her birthday.
Out of that fancy...
Out of chenille yarn.
Oh, yes.
It was my first time
so soft.
ever working with chenille. I don't really like working with chenille. Love the finished product. I don't like working with it because there's just no...
Stretch.
Well, no, there's no... The texture of it when I'm working with it, when I've got it, it just feels weird. I don't know how to describe it. But
it was adorable.
The pattern was amigurumi panda bear crochet pattern by Amy or Annie.
Amy Saigon. Maybe?
Saigon on YouTube. And then my last crochet FFO was Leo the Lion by Yarn Wave on Etsy. And there's the only one of these that was a purchased pattern. All the others were free. I love this pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It is
so cute.
Very good pattern. Very well laid out. The PDF, very well done. Very detailed. There were no parts of it that I was super confused. Like, what is this telling me to do?
Mm-hmm.
It was a very well done pattern. And aesthetically pleasing, too. They put effort into the PDF of it. So,
which is good, because we paid for that one.
Yes, and I very much liked it. And that was a gift for our favoriteest librarian.
Who is no longer a librarian, sadly. We don't get to see her at the library anymore.
She
Hi,
works
Nina.
at Parks and Rec now. But, yeah, I made that for her because we're both Leos.
And she's one of the greatest librarians ever.
Yes. And then my whips. So the first thing basically I ever started crocheting was this monstrosity.
It's cute. It's
look at this.
Janky and crooked, but she was new at crochet.
And I was like 10 years old. So I do forgive myself for that. But it is a shawl. I don't even remember where our pattern for it was because she did one too and actually finished it.
Yeah. Which I've never shown.
And I may end up unraveling this and using the yarn for something else because it's nice yarn, nice and soft. But
yeah, I don't know where I got the...
Again, it's not really cold enough around here
Mm-mm.
for something like this, and it's just so janky. But I had planned on doing this as like stripes of color towards the end of it.
Yeah, mine is 2 shades of purple.
If I do that, I might, but I might end up unraveling it. And then, shortly after I finished the bee, I wanted to do another little amigurumi, so I started this Little Miss Turtle pattern from Pink Mouse Boutique. What? Anyway, I got
a turtle head.
A turtle head. I can't remember which side was up for it. This was before I got safety eyes, so I embroidered the eyes on with a French knot, and so either it looks really angry or really sad.
I think it looks sad.
I'm not sure which way the head's supposed to point.
Turtle.
This is the belly, and this is a leg, and then I was running out of yarn. But we found more of this same color recently, so I can finish it. I just haven't. And then this is going to be the shell. So I was just using like scrap yarn.
Because we have 2 buckets of these little remnant balls from other stuff.
Yeah, so I was just using some scrap yarn. I will finish it when I finish it sometime. Again,
feel free to nag her in the comments to keep her accountable. So cool. Me too.
And then I was like, wow, I do so many gifts for other people. I should make something for myself. So I decided to do this daisy flower granny square. And I made a few of them. I made exactly 4 of them. I'm going to make a bag. Just a little shoulder bag to carry stuff in. Because I don't like any of my bags.
Probably other crochet projects.
I got 4 squares done. And I haven't worked on it in months and months. Because apparently, when I'm making something for myself and don't have a deadline...
The push is not there. I feel the same way about all my cross-stitching. Any of these things that are for myself, they don't get very much love.
And that is from Enredados Entre Hilos. I probably badly pronounced that. And that's their name on YouTube. And I think it means tangled between threads. If I mispronounce that, I'm sorry. I'm only in Spanish 1 right now, so. And then I'm also working on this. Isn't it amazing? This is a horn. I've only done a single horn. It's going to be a Hollow Knight crochet amigurumi. And it's from One Up Crochet on Etsy. Another paid pattern. I like it. I will finish it eventually. But I have been working for the past few weeks. I have been working on this.
Miscellaneous.
Yeah, I've been doing granny squares for a project I'm working on. A whole bunch of different patterns. I'm not saying all where they came from because I haven't found them yet.
But they've all been free patterns online.
They've all been free. Most of them have been YouTube. Which personally, I prefer to stitch off of a written pattern than a video.
I like videos better because I need someone to show me what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I like bag-o-day crochet.
And I've been pretty good at sewing all my ends in as I go, but I've missed a few. I'm trying to have them the same size, but it's not going super well.
Yeah.
This one is not done. There's going to be a cloud and a raindrop on it, but it's not quite done. This is the one I've been working on. But yeah, I have almost 7 complete granny squares.
And she only needs like 50.
It's not necessary. Anyway,
Granny squares go quick though, but she is still in school, as y'all know, so she has limited time.
Very busy, and between trying to get caught up on the temperature dragon and trying to do this as much as possible, and trying not to go insane.
Too late.
It's difficult, so I'm trying to balance everything.
And I'm trying to get her just to relax and enjoy the process and stop. We're both bad about putting ridiculously short time crunches on us for like, oh, last minute, yesterday I want to make somebody a gift whose birthday was 2 days ago. No, that doesn't work. So we're trying to be better about
planning
ahead by several months, but that is a process.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
And this isn't really anything. It's not whip or haul or anything. I just thought it was neat. I've had this little pouch in my closet for years, and I just figured out I can use it to store all of my
accoutrement.
Crochet little doodads that I need to take with me.
Accoutrement is French for doodads.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm not French. But to take for when I take my crochet with me, like to college.
Yeah.
So, very handy little pouch.
I forgot to mention. Are you done?
Yeah.
No rush.
That's it.
I forgot to mention that I had all those little smalls that I showed a few videos ago of cross stitches that I made years ago when I still had a house full of kids and didn't have very much stitchy time. I just finished the little things and stuck them in a sandwich bag and put them in a bucket under my bed. And recently, one of my pen pals had a birthday, and I didn't know about it until like 3 days before her birthday. This was one of those last minute things I'm trying not to do. But I wanted to make her something, so I took 3 of them that were very like spring themed because she is somewhere where they are probably still buried in snow and longing for spring. So I took 3 of them and I finished them into magnets and sent them to her for her birthday. But I already sent them, but I did take a picture of it. So here is the only FFO that I had for the past month. That was it. I just forgot to put that in the FFO part.
And if you stuck around through all that, thank you for listening to me ramble.
So plans. What are your plans for the next month?
I don't have plans. We already discussed
Generally planning to do that. And
Granny
catch a
squares and dragon.
And
I might work on the whim if I ever get to it.
that's the Wandering in Middle Earth.
Right.
We're very behind on that. They've already released the first chapter January 1st. Oh my gosh, I just realized we're on the 3rd of March. So technically they just released the second chapter too, and we're still on the tree from the intro section, so we're way behind. But whatever. So my general plans are to work on this family crest so that I can finish my Whip Go goals for January and March. And yep, that's about it. And the rest is not planned. I just pick up willy-nilly whatever I want to stitch on. Yeah, I mean, whatever I feel like stitching on. I stitch what I want.
And I have no plans because I don't have time for plans.
So that's all we have. We don't have any shout-outs this time, but I do have normal FlossTubers that I watch. And if you're one of them, you probably already know because I'm an active commenter on videos. Because I do like to let y'all know that I'm actively watching your videos. And I think that's it. That's it. So thank y'all for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you for you. I can't talk while people are talking at me.
We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And smack the bell or whatever.
Ring that bell.
Ring it. Ding
Notifications.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Is my hair okay?
You're going to record all this out, right? I mean, you're going to put it all out, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
You ready? Hi, y'all. I'm Tamara.
No.
She forgot her name.
No. No.
We're
That's true.
Okay. Ready?
Gotta find my inner peace. Don't look at me. I don't know why starting is so hard for me.
You ready?
Both of you stop. I'm never gonna get anything done. Hi, y'all. I was taking the lead.
You threw me off. Who's in charge? Woo! Okay. Are you starting or am I?
On 3.
Who's starting?
Both of us.
We can't both speak at once.
Ready?
Who's speaking?
Both of us. And then you'll say your name and I'll say my name.
Are you ready?
It made me spill my drink. I'm dribbling all over myself.
Stop drinking.